Alright, so we have this Alpine CDE-HD149BT, and we're going to find the max clean volume levels on it using the DD-1 and using a Hewlett-Packard 8903A audio distortion analyzer. We've got it hooked up to this bench power supply at 14.4 volts. We have this scope monitoring what's going on. We're going through the settings of the head unit, making sure that the power IC is off and that the bass, treble are all flat. There's no EQ, there's no crossover set, you know, all the things that the DD-1 manual suggests doing. Then we're going to put the DD-1 CD in, play track 1, 40 hertz, which we are now. You can see the analyzer is reading 40 hertz. The signal's very low, it's only 7 millivolts, so let's turn the volume up. And turning up the volume here. Adjust the scope so we can see the signal. And right there, the head unit is all the way up. Volume 35. So now you can see 40 hertz on the analyzer, 40 hertz on the DD-1. There's the voltage coming out of the head unit, 4 volts. The distortion, 0.3%, which is why this idiot light isn't on. And yeah, okay, so 40 hertz, everything's good. Problem happens when we switch to 1K. There's the 1K track. The DD-1 says we have a problem. The Hewlett-Packard says that's 6.4% distortion. The oscilloscope looks like this. Unless you have one of those little handhelds, then it probably looks like that. If you can get some resolution on here, you can see there's an issue right there. It's not clipping. There's also an issue here. This is a sharp corner. This should be more rounded. So just because we're used to looking at sine waves a lot, you know, we can see that there's some problems there, but you don't need to know all that. This tool tells you, lights on, distortion. You start lowering the volume, and now we've got no signal. We're right on the edge of 1% here, but we're at half a volt, so I guess that's as clean as you can get, because if we go any higher than that, see there, it looks clean. We go one more click up, you can see there's some distortion that happens here. The DD-1 says distortion. There's not enough of a signal to light this light up yet, because this happens at about 1 volt. It's only putting out 0.6 of a volt. The distortion on the HP says 2.1. This is telling you it's over 1%. If you have a scope with some resolution, you can see it. And we're at volume 22 right now. So if we go up a little bit, volume 23, 24, you can see that getting worse. You can see the number here, 3.49%, and of course the DD-1 distortion. This is not the DD-1 not working. This is the DD-1 working pretty awesome. Showing you something you might not see on the scope if you're looking for clipping. This head unit has some problem, because at 40 hertz it's fine, at 1 kilohertz not fine anymore. On the same output, we're looking at the left front output. Yeah, so right now we were thinking maybe this problem is because the outputs aren't loaded. There's no amp hooked up here. You know, that shouldn't be a problem, but just kind of trying to diagnose this head unit. And I have a 1K resistor right here. And I can put the 1K resistor across the output of the head unit like so. And the distortion still says 2.1%. And all it does is really kind of just bring the signal down of the signal coming out. Connections are kind of loose here. There we go, put that back. Yeah, so And this is just a problem with the head unit, plain and simple.